What would you compare the gospel to? In 2022, as we've been sharing the good news online and on the streets, we've experienced the power of the gospel as a mighty rushing river, bringing life into some of the most hopeless situations we've ever seen.
We saw miracle after miracle, not only here in Israel, but also in Ukraine and around the world, as our evangelistic and pro-life videos reached more than 63 million views just this year alone. So we want to thank you and encourage you with just a few of the moving stories and exciting updates.
The clock showed 7:30 in the evening, and on the line was an Israeli man named Gabi. "I don't know if I can ever receive forgiveness," he said. "I've done terrible things." Gabi was calling our evangelistic line from house arrest. He was consumed with guilt and didn't know where to turn. But then he happened to see our ad that said, "Find out how to receive atonement."
Our team member Yoni listened as Gabi shared his story. Gabi had been in jail for around 10 months. He had problems with alcohol. He slapped one of his daughters and falsely accused his wife of cheating. He cried out in despair, "Can God forgive me for such a thing? Can my wife ever forgive me?"
"Of course God can forgive you," Yoni encouraged Gabi. "Maybe your wife won't forgive you right away. She needs to witness a deep and fundamental change in you." Yoni talked with Gabi for more than an hour, explaining the meaning of the cross and what Yeshua, Jesus, did for us, and how crucial it is for us to sincerely ask for forgiveness and to turn from a life of sin to a life of trusting in Yeshua.
Gabi listened carefully, then suddenly replied, "Yes, but I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. How do I ask Yeshua to come into my life?" In simple words, Yoni responded, "Just ask him." By the grace of God, even from house arrest, Gabi found new life and freedom. Yoni and Deliel visited him at his house to help him take the first steps in his new faith. And he's met several times for discipleship online since then.
But not only are people who are breaking the law coming to faith, also those enforcing the law. An Israeli policeman named Boaz was bound by astrology and New Age, but after watching our videos, ordering a New Testament, and talking with our team, he understood that he was breaking God's law. He had a powerful encounter with Yeshua and surrendered his life to him.
Now, the new team member who spoke with Boaz was Roger, an Arab brother in the Lord, and it's wonderful to see him provoking Jewish people to jealousy as he shares from the Hebrew Scriptures about the Jewish Messiah and the God of Israel. It's truly a privilege to have Jewish and Arab followers of Jesus on our team, proclaiming the gospel together as one new man in Messiah.
We're also delighted to celebrate with you that through our pro-life and gospel campaign, at least 172 babies have been saved from abortion so far, more than half of them just this year.
One of the most memorable stories was that of Orly. When Orly called our hotline, she was 16 weeks pregnant, already taking care of 2 other children, and then found out that her husband was cheating on her.
Orly explained to Renee, our hotline counselor, "I'm in the midst of a divorce and can't cope. I want an abortion." Renee empathized with her hardship, but also told her that she has a full-fledged baby in her womb.
Orly said, "But I'm in a difficult place. How will I take care of 3 children if I get divorced?" Renee answered, "Orly, no matter how difficult your situation is, God is even greater, and He's able and willing to help you, and we are also able to help practically."
As a team, we cried out to God for a miracle. Renee kept in touch with her regularly for 2 weeks. Then one day, Orly started crying as she shared what happened. But this time, it was tears of joy. She decided to keep her baby. And she and her husband reconciled and decided to stay together. God did a marvelous double miracle. And just as our counselors seek to do with every one of these precious women, Renee also had the opportunity to share the gospel and her testimony with Orly.
Our pro-life and gospel campaign also hit the streets of Israel as we organized a groundbreaking outreach together with local Jewish and Arab believers during the Haifa International Film Festival. We held an equipping event before going out. We also produced a new booklet and showed a new video with Hebrew voiceover revealing the wonder of the development of life in the womb. Thousands were exposed to the truth, many for the first time. Dozens changed their minds about abortion on the spot. And there were also opportunities to share the gospel and even pray with people on the streets.
And a young lady who went out with us excitedly told us afterwards that she was so inspired by what we shared and her experience that she shared the gospel with her friend in the Israel Defense Forces. And guess what? He repented and received Yeshua. We're also planning a huge evangelistic outreach over the next few weeks during the Holiday of Holidays event here in Haifa, and would appreciate your prayers.
God promised that His word would go forth from Zion, and we see it happening before our eyes. In Ukraine alone, our evangelistic video about overcoming fear has reached millions, and we're seeing God's redemption and salvation for people undergoing hardships, including 2 people in prison and a man who was betrayed. Also, a woman wanting to commit suicide saw our video, reached out to our team member Ina in Ukraine, and thank God, decided to attend a congregation instead.
And we're amazed to see people from Liberia, Haiti, India, Sri Lanka, Papua New Guinea, and more who have come to faith in Jesus this last year.
So what's next? God promised an awakening in Israel that would bring life from the dead to the world, and our heart's desire is to see our people saved.
We sense God guiding us to set a goal for 2023 to reach more than 12 million views of evangelistic videos in Israel alone. That's more than we've reached in any previous year. Also, the goal is to generate 10 times as many private chats and phone calls per month.
And now that we have almost completed rebuilding our follow-up system for seekers and new disciples, we're just about ready to begin launching new evangelistic and pro-life videos.
And you can literally make the difference in reaching more Israelis with us. If you sense God's leading, you're welcome to partner with us on a monthly basis. Every $100 given per month reaches nearly 6,000 more Israelis online per month with the life-saving good news of their Messiah.
And one last thing, we really can't do all this without you. So if you'd like to hear many more powerful stories of what God's doing and also pray with us, then please subscribe to our new Tree of Life Israel podcast, follow us on social media, and sign up for our newsletter at treeoflifeisrael.org.
We can't emphasize enough how grateful we are for your prayers and partnership. Our prayer for you is that God would bless each one of you richly in every area of your life, that His hand of grace would be upon you, and that you'd see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living this coming year.
Shalom from Israel.
And God bless.